Blake Groupie out and ready to send this away. And we're off from Tampa. And this will be a touchback, so we're going to need our first snap to see the first action of this game. Now we're going to get an offensive timeout. That's their first. And after using an early one, 2 left for him to spend. All right, let's get this show on the road. It is 1st and 10. Drive starts with a carry by White. And he's up to the 35-yard line as they reel him in. Give him 5 on that carry, bringing up 2nd and 5.
Okay, this is why coaches across all levels of football harp on the importance of good, fundamental tackling, not just to hear themselves talk. It's to make sure that when one of their guys has a chance to bring down a running back, they're able to do it and keep those plays from going any further.
And what a hit there. Ouch, she pays the price for moving the chains that time.
You know, the elite running backs in this league, they don't just see what's right in front of them. You set up big runs like this because they see what's behind them. That's called extraordinary vision and extra yards.
1st and 10. Here's Mayfield. He finds Evans left side. And he drives this across midfield and down into enemy territory.
That's just discipline with a capital D. The play in the huddle is a running back screen, but it takes discipline for that offensive line to not get downfield. Discipline for that receiver to stay alert, stay aware that he's a viable option as well.
And they crush him right near the marker. Looks close, but yep, Brock, I think he safely got that first down before the hit.
Well, looky here. You don't even have to worry now about a 3rd down call as that run moves the sticks. Now that call you had ready, though, you can recycle it. Save it for later for that next 3rd down coming.
And he gets a few on the plunge forward.
Hey, we know running the ball in the NFL is hard, and that play pretty indicative of it. Here's the key, though. At the end of the game, those type of plays got to be in the minority, and the majority have got to do some damage.
Here's 2nd and 7. And there's a man there. It's intercepted. That's Demario Davis. And the Saints take over as he records his 10th career INT. So the first drive of the game ends not in points, Brock, but in an INT.
And I get it. Opening drives aren't always going to end up with points or a touchdown. Good thing, though, there's a lot of opportunities left to make up for that miscue and go get yourself back in rhythm and back on script.
The Saints enjoying some good field position to start this drive off. 1st and 10 coming up. Now an inside handoff to Miller. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
You call that 1st down running play. You don't always expect to get those kind of yards. They'll take that every single time.
1st down, and they go right back to him. And they've got him behind the line for a big loss.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
Made the throw as he was getting hit, Brock, and it's incomplete.
You know, that was a play, Kate, right there where you need to buy your receivers just enough time to get open along their routes. And your quarterback enough time to find and hit him with the throw. Time? Well, that's not what he had. O-line couldn't hold up, and it forces the incompletion.
Here we go. Here we go. Steal. Check steal. Ready.
3rd and long for him here. He lost Stuffs it deep left. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete.
Defender's not going to be thrilled the catch was almost made on his watch, but more importantly, he breaks it up. Gives him a chance to do a little jawing after the play. Lets the other guy know he roughed him up and cost him that catch.
And the punt team gets to this one at the 17-yard line. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10.
Regular. What's up?
Looking to throw here and shake off that previous INT. He's on the move. It's a gain of 17 on that one. And that's good for a Buccaneer 1st down.
Kings. What?
Shotgun snap for Mayfield. Anticipated the quick staccato pass there. It's knocked away. Incomplete.
Any DB prefers a highlight reel interception to just forcing an incomplete pass. But as soon as he realized a pick wasn't possible on the play, well, he gets his hands on it and made sure it wasn't completed.
Throwing again is Baker. Escapes the pocket. Oh, he was on the move, but so was the defense, and they take him down. Moving quickly, trying to get set again. 3rd and long, Mayfield. And he's there to knock away the pass and force a 4th down.
That's just simply great positioning to swat the ball away. He stayed in a spot where he could disrupt the throw before the target and make a play on it.
Bucs ready to send it away on 4th as Jake Camarda runs on to punt it. Collects this at the 35. And not only does he go in the wrong direction, but he's stopped for a net loss on the return. And after the punch, the offense comes out onto the field. And the Saints will get set to take over. They're set up at the 35 now. Hand off here for Miller. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
I talked to a bunch of different GMs, Kate, especially around draft time, and they all say the same thing. Linebackers are so hard to find. It's hard to transition from the college game that's in so much space to this game where you've got to play in a phone booth yet have that explosiveness to chase a play on the outside down like that linebacker just did.
And he rips off good yardage, but it will not move the chains.
Yeah, these in cuts maybe aren't the hardest throws from a degree of difficulty, Kate, but it does take some courage as a quarterback to throw into congested spaces, but it can pay big dividends.
Straight ahead, here's Miller. And his short gain gets them a new set of downs.
Win the early battle. Get a little leverage. Low man wins off the line, and that's all that was needed to ensure that 1st down right there.
Ready?
Play action on 1st down. Olave with the catch. And he'll be touchdown after a big play.
One thing we don't have in football is we don't have that radar gun. But if we did, Kate, this is the kind of throw when you throw it that deep outside the numbers that requires a serious fastball, serious arm strength, and he just showed it off.
Ready.
Now they'll hit the line just outside the red zone following that big play.
Ready. Set.
Looking to throw, Rattler. Caught near the goal line. Touchdown, New Orleans. So, Brock, this offense starting to find its rhythm a bit as they finish things with a touchdown there to give them the lead.
And the key word there that you said is finish, because you want to have that mindset, even early in the game, that field goals aren't going to cut it. So that's great work to make sure they finish with 6 points.
Here's Groupie on now to handle the kickoff. Choosing to bring it out deep in the end zone. They're out and set, 1st and 10.
Run, run, run. Got.
Mayfield now from the gun. That's to his back. Here's Rashad White. And he'll get it out to the 34 before he's tracked down. That'll go for an 18-yard gain. And that's good enough for a Tampa 1st down. From the gun, Mayfield. He puts some air under a deep throw to the left. Big gain downfield. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. On is Chase McLaughlin for the point after. And the kick is no good. An early point after left on the table. Maybe later in this game, it's going to be a moment we look back on. Now, probably still mentally kicking himself after that missed point after. He can take a little frustration out here as he kicks this away. Return coming from the 6. He stopped on the return at the 27. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10.
Quick, yellow. Set. Smith, red. Check white. Ready.
On the give, it's Miller. And they sent it straight ahead, but the front stops him after a gain of 3. Timeout taken by the defense. Their 2nd. Chance here for one final play before the end of the quarter.
Striker, 3-3. Ready, ready. Check, smash.
From the 30 on 2nd down. He's going deep this time. And that won't be brought in, but I love the deep shot there. Some excitement. We're back for the 2nd quarter. Saints in possession of the football. They have it 3rd and 7.
Hey, confused. Hey, check mega. Set.
Trying to throw here out of the gun. Toward the sideline, and he's got it. A big play, 23 yards to move those chains.
I'm not sure how this defense let that guy slip through him like that. On 3rd down, nonetheless. He took that snap as an opportunity, and man, did he make an impact play.
Yellow, line, check, huh?
Miller with it. And he gets absolutely popped to end that one. 1st down play, nets him 5. It's going to be 2nd and 5.
Here we go, set.
Again, it's Miller. It's a pickup of 14 yards as the chains reset.
Offensive coordinators tell us all the time, big runs only happen with coordinated efforts. Great blocking to spring them. Guys hitting blocks downfield, and a back who can show off his wheels.
Going to the ground again on 1st. He's corralled after a modest 4-yard gain. That's Antoine Winfield Jr. up to make that play.
That is just a good, solid run right there. I know, it's pretty basic commentary, but sometimes football can be basic. It keeps you on schedule, that kind of yards per carry, and you move the sticks.
Okay, cross field.
Putting the tight end in motion.
Ready.
2nd and 6 now. And this one's incomplete. Too low as it skips off the ground.
That is normally a gimme for this offense, these short throws. But the defense, they had just enough influence on that play to force the incompletion.
So after that prior incompletion, we've got third down.
Here we go. Here we go. Will Green. Cut.
Throwing his Rattler. And he brings it in for a New Orleans touchdown. The Saints grow the lead to 7. They were throwing for it there, and they didn't care who knew about it, Brock. And it turns out, hey, nothing was going to stop them either.
Yeah, there's something about an empty formation. You are declaring to a defense, other than QB draw, this ball is going to be in the air. But at the same time, you also force the defense's hand. There's only so many coverages they can play, and they just exposed them.
Struggling to center it. Oh, it's loose. Oh, no, and it bounces out of their own end zone. That's going to be a safety.
You know what? This game is hard. So sometimes catching a break or two in just the right circumstances is a big deal. Sideline could be your best friend as a runner, because you lose the ball next to it, there's a good chance it could go harmlessly out of bounds.
And he found some running room for a nice gain. Call it 9 yards. Looked like a first for a moment. It's 2nd and 1.
Well, that doesn't net a first down. You get yards like that in the run game, you will take it in the NFL.
Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1.
Regular. Hey, alert 33. What's that?
Here's White again. And he's tackled with the first down yardage.
That's a run that you'll take the result in the NFL every time. A nice play, a solid game, but it's also a run that you know, and you may come back to. Because if you were that close to breaking off an explosive one, you really break the backs of a defense.
Evans straight ahead. And they try to power it forward, but only a couple of yards there.
This is one of those real modest gains, Kate, that I like as a call. And it's just a little more variety to your playbook. Makes that defense wonder. Those guys on the other side of the ball think a little bit. This dude's not just a receiver. He may get in the run game as well.
From the 47. It's into the hands of White. He'll move the sticks after ripping off a gain of 28.
Got to be a pretty good actor. Got to be pretty good at selling to that defense. That's a drop back pass. When you get a big play on the screen like that, boy, it's choreography by everybody on that offense.
1st and 10. It's a give to White. And he's charged towards the line. That's right around 3 yards.
I think one thing you learn, Kate, when you transition from college to the NFL, not every run is going to be a big play. Some of them, well, they're just destined to end in a minimal gain, and some of them will set up that critical play action for later.
2nd down now, 7 to go. Again, this is White. And he won't salvage that. It's a loss on the play.
Kate, I knew it at the time. I think everybody did. We knew the Legion of Boom was special, right? That entire secondary, but their safety's ability, Earl and Cam, to come downhill, to make those tackles behind the line of scrimmage as he just did. Yeah, I mean, you appreciate great safety play like that.
Point it right. What's that?
3rd down. Here's Mayfield. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the defense comes through. That's going to back him up and bring up 4th down. Chase McLaughlin now to try the Buccaneers field goal. It'll be a 54-yarder from the right hash. And this kick is good. He needed to get all of it there, and he did. And that gets him back within 5.
Kate, if we weren't dealing with a little bit of wind out there, I'm not sure that kick has enough steam to make it. In track, they call that wind-aided. In football, they call it 3 points.
And he opts not to bring this one out, so they're going to enjoy some good starting field position from the 30.
On the ready.
Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10.
Set, hut. Ready.
Now it's Miller. And they'll manage to contain him after about a 6-yard pickup. Tackle made by Jaquan Brisker. Give him around 6. That's going to make it 2nd and 4. We're at the 2-minute warning now from Raymond James. The Saints trying to make some noise before halftime. After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4.
Come on, set.
They kick the running back in motion. From the 36. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And that pushes them back. 3rd down coming up.
Kate, I've seen a one-step drop. I've seen a 3, a 5, a 7. Some of the boots and play actions get more depth. But a 20-step drop? That's not going to cut it. Except for this defense, it just adds a whole bunch of negative yards to that play.
Green jack. Here we go. Ready?
Here he is on 3rd and long. He throws a bullet deep to the right side. They connect on the deep shot. Stiff arm success. It's a huge pickup on the play. And the Saints are going to have a 1st down.
Ready. Set.
From the red zone now. Has it down close. And this is down all the way to the 3. Give him about 16 yards on that gain, Brock, and it sets him up with 1st and goal.
I may love watching a great thrower, but I love watching a well-done route too, Kate. Make that guy think you're trying to stack him only to drop your hips and cut right inside. Some good work to help reset those chains.
They'll break the huddle and come up on 1st and goal. And he's brought down for a loss.
This is one of those situations, Kate, where I watch the body language of the running back because it'd be very easy for him to raise his hands up, look to the sideline in his O-line and go, what am I supposed to do there? There was nothing, no time at all to try and escape and react. Instead, it goes backwards.
Hurt! Hurt! Right there, hurt! Go!
Oh, surprise gift to the receiver near the goal line. And he gets in, touchdown. The Saints grow their lead just before halftime. Wow, how about the timing on that call? They catch him off guard, and it's an easy score on that wide receiver run.
That's exactly right. They crossed up the defense there, busted some tendencies. What a great call, and what great vision as a ball carrier. You don't always see that from wide receivers. That is a job well done.
Here's Groupie on now to handle the kickoff. And that's over the 20, the landing zone, and almost everything else. So that football coming out to the 30-yard line. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10.
Set. Alert, alert! Alert, alert! What's that?
Baker now from the gun. He'll get this complete to White. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down.
Alert, alert! Alert, alert!
Buccaneers hustling to the line. They're in the hurry up.
What's that?
From the 34. And that's going to fall incomplete. We're down to 9 seconds left.
Well, he needed another second to deliver the throw he wanted to. You got to give a lot of credit that time, Kate, to the pass rush for getting in and forcing him to dish it before he was ready.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here.
Set. What's that?
Looking to throw. That's caught for the 1st. And they push this down to the opposing 47-yard line. Just before halftime, we get a timeout taken. Here comes the final play of our 1st half. Throwing it just before halftime. This pass caught by Allen. And he's brought down after pushing to that 35-yard line. So we finished 2 quarters. A couple more to come after this short break. More of the NFL on EA Sports after this. Welcome back, everybody. Kate Scott, Brock Heward with you as we're about set to begin the third quarter. McLaughlin has it on the tee, and he's ready to send this flying. And we'll have to wait at least a few moments longer for an exciting start to this second half. We've got a touchback. 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Set, strike, strike. Ready?
Here's Miller. And the power play up the gut only results in 2 yards.
You know, not a ton of yards, but still showing that commitment to the ground game. The type of run that keeps the defense from loading up in coverage and focusing entirely on that passing game.
Ready.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this second down.
Ready, ready. Set, go.
Running once more with Miller. And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. Now after the run, we see he's visibly shaken up. Team medical staffers headed over to take a look. Let's see what they draw up on this 3rd and 7.
Check 2. Strike, check, strike. Set.
Now Rattler. Makes the grab in bounds left side. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. That's a 38-yard play for him to move the sticks.
You know, Kate, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position. By hitting on that shot, you've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
Set, cut.
Rattler to the air now. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Ball and defender arrived at the exact same time there. So that brings up 2nd down. You go middle of the field against zone coverage, Brock. You know this firsthand. You are throwing into rush hour, and there aren't a lot of easy completions to be found in that part of the field.
Yeah, and a lot of those throws, Kate, you're signing your guy up to take some sort of hit. It's on you to protect your guys. Credit that defense for flying around and making the play.
On 2nd down, a run with Williams. What a hit! He gets flattened to the ground. Even 3 that time. That's going to bring up 3rd and 7.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
To the air, 3rd and long. Look, pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And the defense comes through to back them up ahead of 4th down.
That's why these coaches get paid, Kate, what they get paid. You got to make adjustments. That's a different look of defense than the one we saw in the 1st half. And you got to keep fighting, keep scratching, keep clawing, because that effort is going to be key here the rest of the way. A lot of them may make it look automatic, but you get this deep, and those field goals are far from a certainty. It took all his concentration, every bit of his strength, to send that puppy through.
And no return as this bounces through the end zone for a touchback. First and 10 now from the 30.
Kings! Set. Watch.
The give now to White. And he gets a few on the plunge forward.
Got to be rush hour, Kate, because there's a whole lot of traffic up the middle right there. He ran right into some gridlock, and he could only manage a few yards at most.
Second down now, 7 to go. Shotgun snap for Mayfield. Hits him on the out route. And 2 yards is all he's going to get before he's caught. Brought down by Tyrann Mathieu.
Ooh, he knew he was going to pay for throwing that. I knew it from up here in the booth watching that happen. But that's an experienced quarterback. If that first primary target isn't there, make sure you find your safety valve. And that got them some yards, so taking that shot, well, it was not for nothing.
Real. Stop.
3rd and short, Mayfield. He has the first over the middle. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. We'll take a momentary pause for the injured player, and this is a notable one. Mike Evans is the one hurting after that one. They'll go left side here with White. They're working a couple of yards past the line. Marshawn Lattimore up from the secondary for the stop. Only 2 yards, and it brings up 2nd and 8.
You know, they got some positive yards. That's a good thing. But too many plays like that, it just is too hard to pile together, get first downs against the better defenses in this league.
Grabbed by Chris Godwin. And he's out of bounds just inside the red zone. Big gain, 14 on the play. And that's good for a Buccaneer first down. Culp with a catch. And they'll get this down nearly to the end zone. Instead, stopped at the 2. That's a pickup of 17 yards, partner, and it makes it 1st and goal. White will score. It's a Tampa Bay touchdown. The Buccaneers start the second half with some needed points. It's a Rachaad White touchdown. And he has made this a habit this season. That's his 10th rushing touchdown so far. So the Buccaneers keeping their offense on the field. 2-point attempts coming up. A lot of players around this one, and it is intercepted. Picked up by Marshawn Lattimore. 40. Into the red zone. And that is 2 points the other way as he takes the pick the entire way back. So the 2-point call does end up yielding 2 points, but definitely not on the side of the scoreboard that we were expecting.
No, I don't think it's the first thing on the audience mind as they get ready to run it, but it's definitely on the defensive mind to make up for the touchdown they just gave up. They're looking for opportunities to affect the score, and this time they were able to.
And he opts not to bring this one out, so they're going to enjoy some good starting field position from the 30. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10.
Let's go now. Steal. Check steal. 22 needle. Ready.
Rattler. Forced out to his right. Catch is made down the right sideline. And they'll get him down after he gets into the 48. One play in, and this drive is already into enemy territory.
Set, ready.
They'll go from the gun with Sanders. And their struggles on the ground continue as he's tackled after a small gain. Only gets a yard there to make it 2nd and 9.
Here we go. Here we go. Cut, cut.
Up the gut they go with Williams. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
Ooh, I like that. I really like that execution to move the chains. Now that 3rd down call that they had ready, well, they could stick it right back in their pocket for a later occasion.
Right back to Williams on 1st down. And they make the stop as that play reaches the 14-yard line. He picks up 15 on the play. And that's good for a New Orleans 1st down.
Hey, full feeder. Come on, set. Cut.
They stay on the ground with Williams. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
This is one of those plays that I wish we had the huddle mic'd up, Kate, because I can assure you that offensive line in their own way is telling that running back, sorry, we did not give you any chance.
Here we go. Hey, check Mega. Ready?
Changing things up. They're going to throw now. Cut near the goal line. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
I know the Combine tries to test everything it possibly can physically, but I don't know how you test courage at the Combine because there's nobody defending you. Nobody wants to hit you. But that was the epitome of courage to make that in cut and make the catch.
Right on the doorstep now. Here's first and goal from inside the one.
Ready. Set.
He tries to sneak it, and he gets it on the sneak. Touchdown! The Saints make it a 3-score game in the fourth. The fact that they pulled that out on a first and goal, Brock, didn't wait for a later down. Gotta imagine that played a part in its success, don't you?
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about it. It sure did, and I would have loved to see those eyes in the huddle, right? When you call QB sneak and you look at those guys in the huddle, and the big guys in particular, many times they will tell you with their body language, we're ready to go, and that group certainly was.
Here's Groupie on now to handle the kickoff. And the kickoff is into and then out of the end zone. Touchback, this drive starting from the 30. They're out and set, first and 10.
Set.
Mayfield now from the gun. This complete to Colt. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a first down.
You want to become a quarterback's best friend, do that. Turn a short little gain, a short little pass into some yards after catch, and that quarterback will find you again.
Man in motion here. First down, here's Baker. Toward the sideline, and he's got it. How about 29 yards on that play, partner, as they get the chains reset.
That is what elite offenses are all about. Why worry about 3 downs when you need only one? Move the chains in one play and keep driving that defense backwards.
Kings.
Out of the gun, White. And the defense gets there to force a small loss. Offense in the hurry up here.
Alert.
Brings up second and 11 at the 28-yard line.
Running on second with White. And he's taken down with a short gain to the 25. It's a gain of 3 for them. Still 3rd and 9 coming up. Left side, gets it out quick, and it's caught. It's a gain of 12 there. And that's good enough for a Tampa first down.
It sure seemed like he knew exactly where he was going with that right off the snap.
Offense set for a 1st and 10.
Point it right.
It's White on the give. And he drives that front backward on a gain of 4.
They'll come away happy getting that type of output on most run plays. It's a sign where they're getting some good push up front, and this running back is seeing the lanes and paying them off.
Throwing, Baker. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Targets have far less room to work in this red zone, Brock, but down this close as a former quarterback, I'm just going to assume you got to feel like he should have been able to hold on through whatever.
Yeah, and every once in a while you get in that huddle and you remind them, now listen, guys, it's going to be contested. We know this. It's a physical game, all 100 yards.
And the ground game works for the touchdown. The Buccaneers get it back to within 2 possessions. Baker Mayfield the touchdown. Here come the Buccaneers again, trying for two. They'll try it on the ground. And he's going to get in there for two. The lead shrinks to 10. Now we see he's in some pain after making that tackle. Team personnel out now to take a look at him. Still down a couple of scores after that. They're going to set up for the onside kick. And no problem for the Saints. They cover it up. Fights off a tackle, but he lost the ball. He left the ball behind. And no turnover. It's going to stay with the offense.
Okay, break.
The Saints enjoying some good field position to start this drive off. 1st and 10 coming up.
Ready.
Going left side, Williams with it. And he has enough room to gain about 4. 2nd and 6 coming up here.
Ultra. Ready. Hey, cross field. Set, go.
Sanders on a shotgun handoff. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
This dude was just not going to be stopped. Not by the first defender. Heck, not even by the second one who was able to bring him down. No, it took a few shots before this crew could finally get this beast down.
Here's 1st and 10 from the 34.
Down.
Straight ahead with Williams. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
Okay, don't think for a second this is time you step off the gas. You can feel this defense, right? They're on their heels. And now's the best chance to go push the envelope and get aggressive.
Quick, yellow. Set, cut.
Going to the ground again on 1st. And he's going to run this one well into the red zone to the 14. Good run, gets him 7. That brings up 2nd and 3.
So much to like about that run, Kate, particularly what he was able to get out of it. The defense, I think, feels a little fortunate they were able to track him down before an even bigger run and crossing that first down marker.
Check view.
Handoff here to Sanders. And they'll stop him after a short gain to the 13. Call it no gain, maybe 1 at best on that play. That leaves him with 3rd and 2.
Okay, ready? Strike. Check. Here we go. Set. Cut.
Running for the marker with Williams. And he's brought down a little short. No, actually they do give him the 10-yard line. A gain of 3, and now they're going to be able to plan for 1st and goal.
Okay, you know me, I can't resist. I thought we might have needed the old Gene Steratore index card down there. Making a really close measurement to see if he got the first down or not. But in the end, well, the right call was made. He got just enough to move the chains.
1st and goal now as they try to pad this lead.
Set. Ready. Ultra. Go ultra. Ready.
Another run for Williams. And he's brought down for a loss. So quickly the defense burns a timeout here. 1:57 remaining in the game. Driven backward to the 11 as they line up for 2nd and goal.
Here we go. Magic. Cut.
They try again with Williams. And he's got a nice gain down inside the 10-yard line. Now we get another stoppage here. Just 1:52 remaining. The defense burns a timeout.
Well, you haven't given up the goal line yet, but this offense is moving closer and closer. Now might be the time defensively to get a little more aggressive. Try to stick them with the loss and make a difficult 4th down decision.
And he gets leveled just before he reaches the marker, and that hit prevents a 1st down. That timeout taken by the Buccaneers, and that's their final one. That's all they had, so the offense free to start running the clock down now. 4th down, out comes the Saints field goal team and Blake Grupe. It's a chip shot, this one straight ahead. Nicotomney's kick is good. And that pushes the lead up to 13.
That kick, well, it throws a roadblock up on some of the remaining avenues to get back in this game and really leaves only one remaining. It's going to take 2 touchdowns if they want a shot at it. And we know those odds, they're getting pretty long.
And it bounces out of the end zone, so they'll set up shop at the 30. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10.
Hey, alert 33. What's up?
From the gun, Mayfield. Finds the in route complete. And he's down after getting this up to the 41.
What's up?
1st and 10. Here's Mayfield. Escapes out to the left. And they get him right at the line of scrimmage.
What an excellent job there by the defense. Once he gets out on the move, to be able to corral and contain him and not give up any yards. So often a unit can't keep that contained, and a play like that will go for a big gain.
Throwing deep for the end zone. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. Thought he had a touchdown there. So now it's going to be 3rd and long.
Point it right, point it right, point it right.
Now to throw. And that's a win for the pass rush. Hit as he threw it, leads to the incompletion. 4th down coming up.
You need to buy your receivers enough time to get open along their route, and your quarterback enough time to find and hit them with the throw. When the line doesn't hold up, incompletions follow.
3rd down pass didn't work, but the offense staying out there on 4th. The Saints calling for a timeout, their first. And they still have 2 available for them as we approach the end of this game. Offense still staying out after the incompletion. They're going to try on 4th.
Good. Up, Nelson. Alert, 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 alert. What's up?
Throwing now. And they get to him and hold him down. What a play, forcing the sack, and that should just about put a bow on this one.
Well, I think every analytics book out there, Kate, said you got to go for it. You're in 4-down territory, down a couple scores here in the 4th. But now it's all about the defense. Can the defense come with a quick turnover or a stop to somehow, some way, spark a comeback?
Ready up.
Lining up to take a knee on 2nd down. So this will win on the road for the Saints. And with this being their 5th consecutive victory, Brock, it's easy to argue they've been the best team in football over the last month.